This is 93.7 Citizen FM, Abuja. Time for news on the hour.
Good evening. It's a warm welcome to Citizen FM News at 6. I am Bolawala Makinde. The president of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, Omar Touré, says the regional organization has not declared war on the people of Niger Republic, nor is there any plan to invade the country. Touré, who made the assertion on Friday while addressing journalists in Abuja, was unequivocal that use of military force is not being used in the coup-hit West African nation. The ECOWAS president, however, noted that scales of sanctions had been activated, including legitimate force. According to him, the organization is hopeful that all diplomatic efforts will yield positive action on the part of the junta as preparations continue to make the force ready for deployment in case it becomes compelling to use such force. The Nigerian military has conducted a mass burial for personnel who died during an ambush and air raid in Niger State. Bandits had ambushed the troops in Niger State on August 14, 2023, killing 14 soldiers while 7 were injured. The mood at the National Military Cemetery in Abuja was mournful on Friday as the rank and file of the Nigerian Armed Forces were joined by family members and friends for the burial of 22 of the military personnel who died in combat in Niger State. No fewer than 36 officers were killed in battle, including an air mission on August 14, according to the Defense Headquarters. The ceremony was attended by the Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaru, Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawale, Deputy Governor of Niger State, Yakubu Garaba, Chief of Defense Staff, Major General Christopher Gwabin Musa, and other service chiefs. Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Betta Edu, says the federal government intends to work closely with state governors, local government and community leaders to verify and update the social register of the country. Edu noted that this is to aid the humanitarian ministry's plan of lifting millions of Nigerians out of poverty. She said the ministry was going to verify and update and also going to work with the governors and local governments so they can own it. The Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, has tasked the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lati Fagbemi, to prioritize reforms in Nigeria's justice system. President of the association, Yakubu Maikiao, discloses to State House correspondents yesterday after meeting with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at Presidential Villa, Abuja. According to him, the areas mostly in need of urgent attention include issues like outdated salaries for judicial officers and lengthy court processes. The MBA president, who described Fagbemi's appointment as a perfect fit for the role, expressed optimism while urging collaboration between the legal community and the government. He was at the villa to thank the president ahead of the association's conference scheduled for the weekend.
The bar, under my leadership, by the special grace of God, will support the Honorable Attorney General in the discharge of his constitutional responsibility in this administration. And we similarly did for the Chief of Staff. He's also a member of the Nigerian Bar Association. This COP is also a member of the Nigerian Bar Association. So you can see that the president is surrounded by lawyers, and no doubt what we expect is actually something that would do us proud, not only as members of the Nigerian Bar Association, but as a nation.
The Julius Abure and Lamidi Apapa-led factions of the Labour Party, LP, have disagreed over a ruling of an appeal court in Owerri, the Imo State capital, on Thursday. While Apapa and his supporters claim that the court dismissed Abure as national chairman and affirmed their candidate as the authentic chairman, the Abure-led Labour Party dismissed such claims as fake news. According to reports emanating from the Apapa-led camp, the appeal court also dismissed the governorship and other candidates sponsored by the Abure-led National Working Committee, while affirming Apapa's leadership of the party.
Federal Constitution where he said, well, in view of the facts before me, there is an evidence before me that on the 5th of April, Julius Abure and three others were restrained, and that in what capacity did they now conducted their primary, which took place on the 16th, on the 15th, 1-5, and that there is also an evidence before me that the primary earlier schedule for 15, 1-5 had been changed to 1-6-16, and the court held that it is only primary that took place on the 16th that is valid, and that any candidate that emerged from that of the system that are deemed to be valid candidate or for the party. That is not all. So after that judgment, they were dissatisfied with the judgment. They approached the court of appeal. The candidate that emerged from Abure's group, Mr. Tom, applied to the court on the 28th of last month to be made an interested party in that suit. Unfortunately, being a privilege matter by virtue of section 285, you can only apply within 14 days.
In response, the Labour Party National Publicity Secretary, Obiora Ifo, said that facts about what transpired in court state otherwise. He said the court held that the appeal by the Labour Party was not necessary as the decision of the trial court was in its favour, and that mere comments of the trial judge in the matter was not a judgment and should be discountenanced. A lawyer of the group also insisted it was important to state that neither the Federal High Court, Owerri, nor the Court of Appeal, Owerri, which sat in Abuja today, made any orders in the matter other than for lack of local standing against the plaintiff.
Basil Maduka, who was the plaintiff, and then we have, as defendants, we have INEC, we have Labour Party, and then we have Ukaibu, Ikeshuku. Now, you could see that from the parties to that judgment, Abure was not before the court, Apapa was not before that court. None of the candidates, of our candidates from either Imo, Kogi, or Bayelsa was before the court. How could the court have gone ahead to give any decision? So, and what the court decided was that the plaintiff in that matter, who was Basil Maduka, did not have local standing to institute that action. So the court dismissed the suit without giving any other decision was taken.
National Chairman, All Progressive Congress, APC, Abdullahi Ganduje, has assured the party faithful that the family problem arising from the announcement of a new National Working Committee and zonal officers will be resolved amicably. At the end of a meeting with the governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, which was held on Thursday behind closed doors in Abuja, Ganduje told journalists that all differences would be rectified. The APC chairman also expressed optimism in the ability of the Kogi governor to deliver the state for the party in the November 11 governorship election.
This is democracy in action. It's an internal problem. We assure you that it will be resolved and it will be a win-win situation. We are already together. Since you saw people in the office now, they are there for dialogue, and we assure you very soon we will be in Kogi State and spend some days in order to see that everything is in order. The governor of Kogi State is a very hard-working young man, and we believe he did it before, he will do it again.
Governor Bello reaffirmed his confidence in the party's leadership, insisting that the APC would retain the state.
And of course, we discussed about our next election in Kogi State and areas that we need to address and what we need to do so that we win. Remember, this is going to be his first election as national chairman of this great party. So, and we have a very good understanding. And we're planning that the National Campaign Council will be constituted and will be inaugurated very soon. And he is bringing innovation into the Campaign Council this time around. And definitely, we're very sure and confident of victory with no slide by the grace of God.
Governor Abu Kefas of Taraba State and Chairman People's Democratic Party PDP Campaign Council for the Bayelsa governorship election says the party will retain the state in the November 11 election, going by recent developments. Kefas stated this at the meeting of the council in Abuja. He tasked members of the council to work in synergy towards a successful outing at the polls.
In this pivotal moment, we recognize the weight of our responsibility to the people of Bayelsa State. As we set our sight to retain our governorship position and all our position in Bayelsa State, we embrace the task of envisioning a prosperous and inclusive future for every citizen of Bayelsa State. Our campaign is not merely a quest for power. It is a commitment to transformative leadership that fosters growth, equity, and unity.
In foreign news, former French President Nicolas Sarkozy will be tried in 2025 over allegations he took money from late Libyan dictator Muammar Gaddafi to fund one of his election campaigns. This was stated by prosecutors on Friday. The trial is set to hear explosive evidence that the right-winger, along with 12 other co-defendants, conspired to take cash from the Libyan leader to illegally fund his victorious 2007 bid for the presidency. Sarkozy, who has faced a litany of legal problems since his one term in office, denies the Libyan allegations, the most serious that he faces. The 68-year-old has already been convicted twice for corruption and influence peddling in separate cases involving attempts to influence a judge and campaign financing. In sports, Luis Rubiales has refused to step down as president of the Spanish Football Federation following his behavior at the Women's World Cup final on Sunday. Rubiales, 46, kissed forward Jenny Hermoso on the lips after Spain's 1-0 victory over England. He had early grabbed his crotch as he celebrated at the final whistle. Rubiales apologized for the kiss on Monday before FIFA World Football Governing Body opened disciplinary proceedings against him on Thursday. Arsenal striker Folarin Balogun is nearing a £35 million move to Monaco despite interest from Chelsea and Inter Milan. Negotiations are continuing, but the 22-year-old is expected to return to France, where he enjoyed a prolific loan spell with the Reims last season. Chelsea and Inter Milan had also inquired about signing the United States international. Meanwhile, Arsenal defender Kieran Tierney is expected to join Real Sociedad on a season-long loan. The 26-year-old Scotland international has featured more than 120 times for the Gunners since moving from Celtic in 2019, but made just 6 Premier League starts last season. Balogun starred in France's Ligue 1 last season, scoring 22 goals for Reims. And that has been Citizen FM News at 6. I am Bolawala Makinde, wishing you a pleasant weekend. The news was edited by Lawrence Omwete. Good evening.
Hello, Abuja. You are listening to 93.7 Citizen FM.